Hello and welcome into another edition of River Dragons Weekly. I'm Zach DeBozart, VP of Communications and play-by-play voice for the team. And I know what you're thinking, whoa, that's different. And you're right, don't adjust your TVs, don't adjust your computers on YouTube. This is our brand new jersey, our third jersey that we debuted on Wednesday night. And with that, let's go ahead and jump right into Wednesday's highlights, see how the team did. Starting it up, you can see Columbus in those teals with the white helmets. Real solid look. Fans loved it on social media. Inside the zone here for Menor. They were on the power play, but 2-on-1 back the other way. Here's CJ Hayes firing it in off a Yianni Liarakos assist, and the River Dragons had a 1-0 lead shorthanded. Menor would respond back quickly, 1-1. Rylan Pashevitz, he had a phenomenal game playing in the net on this particular day, this Wednesday night. You'll see coming across here, great pad save he made, stretching out to his right, and we move on at a tie game 1-1. Columbus entering into the zone, right wing circle, stopping it up. Jay Krupp, check that, Ivan Bondarenko waiting for it there. He dishes it off to Jay Krupp, who outweights everybody and eventually puts it into the net, makes it 2-1 in favor of Columbus. Then later that period on the Georgia power play, doing some great work behind the net. CJ Hayes, left wing side, he's going to look for some space. He'll play it off, and then it'll come right back to the left point. And watch this shot. Look in front of the netminder right there. Chase Fallis getting a touch on it, putting it in the back of the net, and it's 3-1. Columbus would get the win. Now, still some rough stuff, though. You see on the right side of your screen, and now it's blown up. MJ Graham and Nate Farrington, they went at it. Tempers were hot for a Wednesday night, and that would obviously lead into some fun stuff for Friday and Saturday. Before we get into Friday's highlights, though, these third jerseys, they are available at the River Dragons website through our jersey pre-order form, and you can also buy River Dragons on the back, on the name bar with the teal look at our merch stand during any one of our games. A lot of fans have been giving us questions about that. Saw them on the ice. You see them right here. They're a sharp look. Go out and get them. Very popular, very big hit in social media, so get them while we have them, because if we got a backlog orders, we try and keep them in stock as best we can. Let's move it on to Friday's highlights. River Dragons and Icebreakers took each other on once again. A 3-1 scoreline with some great goaltending. This time, it was the offense's turns to get flowing. Menor Icebreakers, they fire it in from the left wing side. You can see it's very early in the game now. And watch Alex Morrow moving it in, and Nate Farrington will poke this puck in from the short side, make it 1-0 Menor just about a minute or so into the game. Later on, we're about halfway through the period. Columbus trying to put on the pressure, but the Icebreakers are going to do great work in transition. Look at the steal right there by Moskal. Now they move it up 3-on-2 and follow Butita on the left wing, number 14. Right there, blocker save, but right onto his tape. Rylan Pashevitz, not much he could do with that one. Icebreakers up 2-0, and then they would extend their lead even more. Power play situation here for Columbus. Block shot, and watch the gamble the Icebreakers take, and it pays off. 3-on-0 back the other way, but Parker Moskal doesn't need teammates. He pulls the Peter Forsberg move, buries it past Pashevitz, and it's 3-0 Icebreakers. Very same power play, though. River Dragons would get one back. Watch Yianni Liarakos, number 12, as he moves to the far side of the net. He's going to get one off of the pad of Rudabush. Puck's going to move up here to the top. Shot from Howie. Big pad save, and the rebound buried in as it was right on his tape. Yianni Liarakos, we're going to hear more from him a little bit later on in today's show. 3-1, Menor leads. Columbus would get another one later before that period ended. And now, check it out here, just as the second period begins, about 49 seconds in, shot coming in, a blocker save. Now watch what this puck does. Shoulder save, pops up high, everyone misses at it, and it falls into the net. River Dragons tie up the game at 3-3. Later on, just about 2 minutes later, River Dragons take their first lead, as watch what MJ Graham does here in the back. Pass to the left wing side. It's going to go down into the corner for Bondarenko. Bondarenko's going to wait for it. He'll play it out to the front. MJ Graham, beauty of a shot, one-timer there, and it's 4-3 River Dragons. Menor would eventually stop the bleeding, though, on a power play of their own, doing good work, rimming it around the near side boards, and then finding it all alone in the high slot will be Declan Conway, number 22 right there. Played off of a body right there, one-timer and in, and the Icebreakers tie up the game 4-4. River Dragons would take a lead, though, into the period break as Ivan Bondarenko, just about 49 seconds later, watch what he pulls off here. Still Menor in the attacking zone. It gets chipped out ahead, and look at the transition speed. Ivan Bondarenko with MJ Graham driving just fires it with all kinds of traffic in front of Rudabush. 5-4 River Dragons lead. Icebreakers wouldn't go away in this one, though, as they move it up, the River Dragons move it up into the zone here. But again, watch the transition speed by the Icebreakers as they're going to come up and be able to tie this game here. 3-on-3 roughly through the neutral zone with a man headmanning. Drop for Moskal. He'll fire it and score. 5-5 with about 6 minutes left to go in the third. Now on the Houston Clinic penalty kill, River Dragons down a man for the last minute and 15 of regulation. Here's CJ Hayes doing great work on the Menor defenseman. Puck gets free. Yianni Liarakos buries it. 6-5 short-handed goal with about 48 seconds left in the third period. Chase Follis would add an empty net goal just before the game ended, and that gave Friday night its final score of 7-5. Now we head on with a look into Saturday's highlights. River Dragons looking for the 3-game sweep, 9 points out of 9, but Menor would open the scoring first. Brody Duncan with a shot from the left point, hit a body in front, got past Rutledge, and it's an early 1-0 lead from the Icebreakers as they cash in on the power play. Columbus would respond, setting up a play behind their own net. This is going to get passed out to the left wing. Good cross-ice feed by the defense, and MJ Graham, he'll do the rest. Cutting to the middle, outside-in move, gets around Rudabush, who went down early, and MJ Graham into a wide-open net made it 1-1 on a power play goal for Columbus. Not even 13 seconds later, crowd still sitting down after the celebration. An interception here in the neutral zone. Icebreakers bring it back the other way with Parker Moskal. That chance headed off, but John Butita from the corner smartly plays it off of Rutledge's pads and into the net. Icebreakers restore their 1-goal lead 13 seconds after MJ Graham tied it. Moving into the second period now, River Dragons down a man trying to kill this off. Weak clearing attempt, I should say, by Sean Limer. Got to the middle for Menor, and all alone, Declan Conway finds it from a screen, and he bunks it in top right corner, and it's 3-1 Icebreakers. Columbus would respond once again as MJ Graham gets another goal. It was such a sneaky player. Camera didn't even pick it up. MJ Graham's behind the net, ends up playing it near side while everyone thought he was going far side. It went in off a Menor Icebreaker, and it counts as Graham's second goal of the game. 3-2 Menor at this point. Moving on to the third period, Menor's going to bring it up the ice right wing side. They were so good in transition all weekend long. Zach McKenna played that one to the top of the left circle, and Stepan Jurovic, a seeing eye puck through all kinds of traffic in front. Not much Rutledge could do there. 4-2 Icebreakers. A minute later, though, here comes Columbus the other way. Sean Limer headmanning this rush. Strong tape-to-tape pass, and Chase Follis left circle buries it in the top shelf. 4-3 now at this point with 13:56 left to go in the third. Menor would get back their 2-goal lead, though, as moving the play inside their offensive zone, playing it along the half wall. Here's Butita. Watch him move this around behind the net. Everyone loses their man in the slot. Declan Conway can't leave him that kind of space. He'll shoot it home. 5-3 Icebreakers. About midway through the third period, Columbus would force the issue a ton in the late minutes, but not much they could do about it. As you can see, time running out in this one. Columbus with one last gas effort trying to get Jared Rutledge out of the net. They'll push this puck up through the middle of ice and then turn it over left wing circle, and then back the other way comes John Butita, just showing off his speed, beating the Columbus defenseman on a race, and then backhanding that one, just getting it through. Rutledge falls into the net with about 5 seconds left. 6-3 was our final score, but that wasn't the end of it. Yianni Liarakos and Richie Pinkowski, they're going to get into a healthy scrap just as the game ends. You see the rights being fired in there by Yianni as he throws Pinkowski down to the ice. Now watch Limer get pushed right here into your screen by a Menor player. Nick Wright says, I don't care for that too much, and he'll drop him with Henry Berger, and Berger didn't stand much of a chance. Nick Wright pile drives him down into the ice. The crowd loved the two fights at the end of the game, but they did not love the end result. Unfortunately, the River Dragons could not get that sweep with the Menor Icebreakers. As you saw, they fall on Saturday night 6-3, but still taking 6 points out of 9 on the weekend. A very good sign for a Columbus team that continues to grow game by game, week by week, and they pick up what is, in theory, their first series weekend win, even though Friday-Saturday was a split when you throw in Wednesday. That's more points than they took than the opponents, 6-3, so we'll chalk it up to the good guys on that one. We're going to take a break here on River Dragons Weekly, but stick around. When we come back, we'll hear from a man you saw a lot in those highlights. It's number 12, Yianni Liarakos. Good conversation coming up with him. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Francis Marion, better known as the Swamp Fox, a guy known for his guile, his unorthodox methods, the first militiaman. He was crafty before craft even existed. F. Marion Continental Whiskey has its own crafty and cunning instincts, a spirit that's bold but smooth. This is a premium, small batch American whiskey that punches well above its weight. Enjoy Swamp Fox F. Marion Continental Whiskey at all River Dragon home games.
Golden Corrals, carved New York strip and jumbo butterfly shrimp. Make me feel like a real New Yorker. Hey, I'm eating here. New York strip and butterfly shrimp. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
There's a lot to love about fall, like the cool weather, watching the game, or streaming your favorite movies with fast and reliable internet and Wi-Fi. Fall is the perfect time to make the change to Beam with no data caps, all your favorite channels, and fast speeds. Call or visit us online at ctvbeam.com to get the perfect package for your needs and make your fall even better.
Every day, we're powered by you.
Let Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, take care of all your document shredding needs. We can design a custom shredding program for your business today. No need to purchase equipment, no maintenance expenses, no need to prepare records for destruction, increase employee productivity, increase security, no worry. Was it really destroyed? Right now, all new customers can receive 10% off. Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, locally owned and operated in downtown Columbus. That's Shredaway, 706-577-9668.
Whether you're heading to an off-road destination, creating the perfect lawn, or preparing the fields, think SunSouth, where you'll find quality John Deere equipment, affordably priced to help you tackle the tough jobs. Think SunSouth, for those that do.
Welcome back into River Dragons Weekly. It's now time for our interview segment. And today we got a special guest, number 12, Yianni Liarakos. Yianni, thanks for taking the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me out.
All right, fans are obviously getting to know you because I think, I don't want to say heroics, but it was certainly a stellar performance you put on Friday night. Before we get into you and who you are, we saw the highlights in the last segment about it, but that goal, shorthanded, 30, 40 seconds left. What was going through your mind? What happened in that situation?
Not much. Just CJ Hayes had lots of pressure on their D, and he made him commit, and the puck came loose, and I was able to grab it and put it in the back of the net.
What do you think for you? Is that probably the biggest goal you've scored in your career? I mean, a shorthanded game winner basically has got to be up there, right?
It's up there. It's probably top 5, I'd say. But
right.
But yeah, no, it was good to get the goal. It's good to get the win. We needed that win. We're on the right track now, and it's just good to get started. What
would you say is your top goal? Just curious, because I mean, you've had a bit of a career. We'll get into that in a little bit.
I scored 2 really nice ones last year in Danville. One was between the legs, and one I kind of jungled it and put it over a guy and shot it in. Those are pretty cool, but
in terms of the moment, was that it?
Yeah, that's probably the most exciting moment, yeah.
It definitely was. Yianni, you hail from Toronto, Ontario. You played your juniors, your U18s, your U16s career through there. Obviously, being in that area, it's such a hockey hotbed. There's a lot of big talent. What was it like for you, growing up, playing competitive hockey, trying to shape you into the professional that you become?
Just being around good people and just meeting a lot of people, networking, and just being able to have fun, really. That kind of just made it really easy.
For fans that might not know, Yianni played in Brampton in the GOJHL and Blind River in the NOJHL. Both places, you were over a point per game player. Obviously, offense is your strong suit. I mean, we saw the very sure shot with the shorthanded tally. Is that always how you've been? You've always, not to say shoot first guy, but very offensively minded?
Yeah, I'm very offensively minded. I can make plays happen. I can shoot. But yeah, it's always been a strong suit of mine.
Now, when you became a pro, it was the 2017-2018 season. You started your career with Port Huron in this league, and you got to play there for a little bit. Before we get into Port Huron, what was it like for you? Because remember, we had those back-to-back weekends in Port Huron. Mm-hmm. What was it like for you to get back into Port Huron as a member of the River Dragons?
It's always exciting to go back to Port Huron. Fans kind of get a little rowdy. They kind of chirp you a little bit and stuff, but
They
it's
let you
always
know where
exciting. It's always exciting going back there.
Yeah, they let you know where you're at for sure.
Yeah.
So from Port Huron, then you took a brief detour in your career. You headed over to Europe and you played in the Hungarian League. What was that experience like? What was it like getting to Europe?
You know what? It was really cool. It was pretty quick. I was only there for a month, but it was a really good experience. You know, I met a lot of different kinds of people. I learned about a new culture. I traveled a little bit, and I was fortunate enough to have that.
And you mentioned to us, too, before this segment that you got to meet some family that you'd never seen before. I mean, with your name, Liarakos, that seems to hail over on that side of the world, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does over in South Greece. So it was pretty cool. I met family that I've never met before, and yeah.
They had any idea you were coming? They had any idea who you were?
So they knew who I was, and they knew I was coming, but I had no idea who they were.
So there was people out there like, yeah, we've got pro hockey players in our family, and probably being in Greece, they're like, what's that?
They didn't know what it was, so it was kind of tough trying to explain it to them.
But still had to be pretty cool, and might have only been a month, but I'm sure it was a month well spent. You came back, you were a member of the Watertown Wolves, and then selected here by Columbus. So now that you've been on 3 different Federal Hockey League teams, and what you could say is right now a short pro career, you've only been doing this for about 2-3 years. What's it been like for you? Not necessarily, saying you're a traveling body, but you've been moving around quite a bit.
Yeah, I moved around. I want to see my options. I want to explore my options and stuff, and I think I've done that now. And I think I've chosen the right spot to kind of stay and stick around.
What about Columbus is that thing that makes you want to stick around, that makes you think this is a spot I'd really like to play and like to be in?
Well, for starters, the weather. Can't go wrong with the weather.
A lot of guys say that.
But just everything. You know what? We have a great ownership. We have great coaches, great teammates, and it's just this is where you want to be. You want to have a close-knit team, which we have, and yeah.
This is Yianni Liarakos. He wears the number 12 for your Columbus River Dragons, had 2 goals in Friday night's win. The power play tally to get us back to 3-1, and then the shorthanded game winner with less than a minute to go. Yianni, what is it about this team that you see really gelling well? Because in the earlier editions of the show, we were talking with Jerome, we were talking with Chase, and they said, the guys are coming together. It's going to take a little bit because it's an expansion team, and guys are from all over, brand new. What is it now in the next month or so that's got this team to gel together and play the way they have?
Just being able to do stuff together. We've kind of, in the beginning, we were kind of just doing our own things, kind of, and lately we've been hanging out a lot more and stuff, and it brings everyone closer. You get to know people, get to see what their likes are and what they don't like, and it just makes it easier on and off the ice.
It's one of those things where, team unity, it doesn't happen overnight. You've got to build it up, and you've seen the growth, and they're only about a month into the season, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, it happens. We're a new team. We're all new to each other. I mean, there's a couple guys from here and there, but it just takes time, and I think we're on the right track.
Yianni Liarakos, he's about a point-per-game player right now, especially after that game on Friday. Going back to that, we already talked about the shorthanded goal, but the power play goal you scored, we went down 3-0. Again, we showed all this in the highlights. But when you scored that goal about 40-some seconds later, and it got us back into it, that had to be a feeling, of relief in some way. A, you stopped the bleeding, but B, to answer right back. That's huge in a hockey game, isn't it?
Yeah, no, we needed to get one just right away as fast as possible because they got 3 up on us. It was a relief for everybody, really, and we just kind of had to settle down from there and just work our way back up, which we were fortunate enough to do.
Yianni Liarakos with us here. Native of Toronto, Ontario, so can we assume fan of the Maple Leafs?
Absolutely.
So obviously the decision, the biggest coaching job in the hockey world became available. What were your thoughts on that? That was kind of nuts, right?
I'll be honest. I thought it was going to happen sooner than it did. Really, I mean, Babcock seems like he's a great coach and stuff, but he just seems plays a very big mental game, I feel like.
And Toronto, obviously, just a huge hockey market. So it's tough. And I want to know, growing up, I mean, do you have any other options? Did you play any other sports other than hockey?
I played soccer.
Okay.
I played soccer growing up, and then it came to an age where I had to choose soccer or hockey, and I chose hockey.
Were you better at hockey? Did you like it more? What went into that decision?
You know what? I don't really know. I think I was better, and I liked it more. but hockey was the way to go.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, we only got a little bit more time here for you, Yianni. So anything you want to tell to the fans that have been coming out supporting you guys for about a month or so? You've seen the crowds, you've seen the electricity in the building. Anything you want to say to the fans?
Just keep coming out, keep supporting all of us, and we're going to do what we want to do, which is bring a cup to Columbus.
All right, well, you heard it right there. Yianni Liarakos, thanks so much for your time, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, and good luck out there the rest of the season.
There's a lot to love about fall, like the cool weather, watching the game, or streaming your favorite movies with fast and reliable internet and Wi-Fi. Fall is the perfect time to make the change to Beam with no data caps, all your favorite channels, and fast speeds. Call or visit us online at ctvbeam.com to get the perfect package for your needs and make your fall even better.
Every day, we're powered by you.
Whether you're heading to an off-road destination, creating the perfect lawn, or preparing the fields, think SunSouth, where you'll find quality John Deere equipment, affordably priced to help you tackle the tough jobs. Think SunSouth, for those that do.
The best damn spirits in the world. We say that because we care about what we do. The premium quality of our spirits doesn't come from some secret recipe or magic water. It comes from our desire to craft the best damn spirits in the world. Swamp Fox Distilling Company. Premium, small batch spirits made with pride in Buena Vista, Georgia. Now available at your favorite local package store.
At Georgia Power, we believe our lake should be filled with water, not trash. That a healthy honeybee population will pollinate a healthier environment. That building homes is just as important as powering them. That's why we believe what we do off the grid is just as important as the clean, safe, reliable, affordable energy we provide on it. And that's a different kind of energy.
Welcome back in to River Dragons Weekly. Had a great conversation in that last segment with Yianni Liarakos. We thank him for his time. And of course, we implore you to check Yianni and all the other guys out at the Civic Center this weekend. Let me put a little asterisk on that, 'cause it's only one game coming up Friday night against the Port Huron Prowlers. And that allows us to transition into the schedule for the FPHL this weekend. As I just mentioned, River Dragons will host the Port Huron Prowlers, 7:35 puck drop. That's the only game Columbus and Port Huron plays. The other 8 teams, they have a 2-set games for the weekend. The Delaware Thunder are at the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Danbury's been quite upstart. They swept the Elmira Enforcers Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at First Arena. So Danbury returning home, 9 points heavier, and going against the Delaware Thunder. We'll see if the Hat-Tricks can keep things rolling or if the Thunder can start to claw their way out of the Eastern Division basement. Watertown and Elmira in the Battle of New York. Both of these games will be at First Arena, so Elmira will look to avenge their 3 straight losses against Danbury against their rivals in the Watertown Wolves. Carolina and Battle Creek go at each other once again. The Thunderbirds swept a 3-game set from the Battle Creek Rumblebees. That was in Winston-Salem. Now a 2-game set up in Battle Creek, Michigan. See if the Rumblebees can pick up their first points on the weekend. They have started the year 0-15. Been a tough start for that expansion franchise over in southwestern Michigan. And the Menor Icebreakers and Danville Dashers start up a 2-set. Danville going to host both games at the David S. Palmer Arena. So that's 8:05 East, 7:05 Central local time for Danville. And of course, for all the fine folks here in Alabama, you're used to Central time. Menor at Danville, 2 games, 7:05 on Friday and Saturday. That's your look at the schedule for the upcoming weekend. How about we take a quick peek over at the standings? We've seen Columbus jump up and down quite a bit around the middle of the pack in the Western Division. Coming into this weekend's games, they find themselves in 3rd place with a record of 6-6-1, as it were. One of those wins coming in overtime, so 1 point less than you'd expect. Sitting at 18 points on 13 games played. Danville just ahead of them at 21 points on 14 games played, so that game in hand, if Columbus were to win it, they would find themselves even on points with Danville. Of course, everybody in the West chasing down the Carolina Thunderbirds, who sit at 36 points on 13 games played. That's 36 out of a possible 39 points possible. Carolina continuing to show why they were Commissioner's Cup champions last year, and I guess no such thing as a championship hangover, at least not to start the season for the fans and the team over there in Winston-Salem. Underneath Columbus, the Port Huron Prowlers, so the River Dragons are going to have to play strong on Friday night, lest they want to be jumped by Port Huron into 4th place in the standings, and as we mentioned, Battle Creek 0-15, still looking for their first points on the season. Over in the Eastern Division, it's getting a little crowded at the top. Watertown still continues to lead the way, 33 points on 13 games played. 3 points back of Carolina for the outright FPHL lead across both divisions. The men are Icebreakers, who we just played, find themselves 6 points back of Watertown, and they've played one more game than the Wolves, so Watertown has that going for them as well. Danbury, as we mentioned, with that sweep of Elmira, have put some distance between themselves and the Enforcers. Men are at 27, Danbury at 23 with a game in hand on the Icebreakers too, so if they win that, they'll be 1 point back. And then Elmira sitting at 18, comfortably ahead of Delaware, who's sitting at 6 points through 12 games, but if the Thunder were to get hot and Elmira continues the little skid that they're on, there could be some issues coming up for the Enforcers. So as we looked at the standings and at the schedule for this weekend, sure to be a jam-packed weekend in the Federal League. Of course, even though the River Dragons only have the one game to speak of, going to be a lot of fun to see the jostling here and there. The Menor versus Danville series, obviously, River Dragons fans will have their eye on, as the Danville Dashers, for the moment, are just 3 points ahead of your River Dragons. And again, tickets to Friday's game still available, Columbus Civic Center box office or Ticketmaster by searching Columbus River Dragons Youth Football Night, Teddy Bear Toss. Sure to be a lot of fun, and we hope to see you all out there. My big thanks to Yianni Liarakos, who was our guest on this week's edition of the show. So all the fine folks here at the production studios at CTV that allow us to create this show for you, and everybody at the front office of the Columbus River Dragons who allow us to put this on and bring you all the news and notes from the team and get you all raring to go for River Dragons hockey week in and week out. I'm Zach DeBozart, the voice of the River Dragons. You'll hear from me 7:05 on the Burger King pregame show on WRCG. It's 92.1 FM and 1420 AM. That's the fine folks at PNB Broadcasting that allow us to put our games on the radio there. Of course, if you're looking for the moving pictures of the game, you can find those on our YouTube page, Columbus River Dragons on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll see all the different content that we'll put out during the season. Game highlights, our Chats with Boom Boom series brought to you by Kinetic Credit Union, as well as a whole bunch of different fun things. We got a lot of stuff coming up for the holidays. Guys are involved with different shoots. It's going to be a lot of fun. So again, make sure you hit the bell, subscribe to the Columbus River Dragons on YouTube, and don't miss a single second of video that we put out from our team headquarters. I'm Zach DeBozart, the voice of the River Dragons. Again, 7:05. I'll see you, or you'll hear from me, that is, on Friday night on the Burger King pregame show as the River Dragons get ready to take on the Port Huron Prowlers. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you right back here next Thursday.